Alright, what is up, guys? We are back, and yes, we are still right here. Gonna eat some berries, and then we're gonna go check out this ruined portal down here. Hopefully there's a chest. It looks like there is, and some gold. Not that we'll be able to get it with our stone pick that we've got, but we can loot the chest and see what's going on. Ooh, man. Interesting terrain on this one. I like it. Oh my gosh, look at that. Big old pool of lava. Whoa! Bunch of gold in here. Golden carrots, that's always nice. Golden sword with sweeping edge. I'll take that obsidian and the flint and the fire charge, and I will take the whole chest. Alright, that actually was a pretty good one. Okay, so like I said in the last video, we are going to adventure off this away today and see if we can find ourselves a little village. Like I said, I would like to be a little bit closer to a village, but not in a village. Close, but not in. That's kind of where I'm at. Let's see here. So we will adventure around a little bit and get ourselves going. Just start looking to see what we can see. And hopefully we'll find something this episode and we can start building and getting it into settling down. Because that's really what I'd like to be doing at this point. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, in today's video, we are going to be talking about trauma. So what I want to talk today about is PTSD. And I wanted to talk about it in as non-triggering a way as I possibly can. And I don't know if I will be able to accomplish that. That is quite the tall task. However, I think it can be helpful for a number of people to just have a little bit of an idea of what PTSD is, how trauma forms, and why it can stick around so long. So I'll do my best to not get into anything too triggering. That being said, if this is something that just even talking about trauma is triggering for you, you may want to turn off this video and move on to the next one. And that's okay. Some of these topics are going to be kind of tough, especially if we get to a point where we've got people asking questions and wanting to know more about specific topics. Trauma can come up a lot. Even things that are not trauma related can lead to discussions about trauma adjacent things. And as part of a therapy channel, we might have to touch on these things. So, like I said, I will do my best to not go in too deeply or delve too deeply into anything. But I cannot guarantee there will be no trauma-related or no triggering content. So, let's start with what is PTSD, right? And just kind of a general description of PTSD, right? This is going to be not a clinical description, but something that I think people would be able to understand. So PTSD is a reaction in the body, right, that occurs after a traumatic event. And what is a traumatic event, right? Because there used to be this idea that it was a war-related thing. Only people who went to war got PTSD, which we now know is not true, right? Many people get PTSD. So what do I consider trauma? And what does the general psychiatric community at large consider trauma? So trauma is typically thought of as something that occurs to you or around you, or even something that you hear, right? We have secondary trauma, that your brain cannot process in the moment. It is too overwhelming. It is too painful. And your brain just decides, we're not dealing with this. We can't deal with this. We got to shut down, check out, and we'll have to try to come back to it later. Is essentially the brain's reaction, right? Again, high level overview, not necessarily going to be 100% accurate, but it is something that we can work with. I actually really like this area too. Man, there's a lot of really nice areas. This might just be an adventure around kind of thing right now, because I am really digging all this cool stuff. Anyway, so that is trauma, right? It is something that our bodies, our brains cannot handle in the moment. So it makes sense why people would think, this is a war-related thing, because war is extremely traumatic. Those kinds of things can lead to some of the most difficult to deal with PTSD because of the trauma reactions, right? So trauma reactions, when I use that term, I am talking about things that happen because of the trauma, right? Things that the trauma induces. And again, these are different for everyone. Not everyone's going to go through the same thing or deal with the same thing. But a lot of times with trauma, they're very similar, is what I've noticed. I have had numerous clients ask me the same question: is this normal? Is what I am dealing with, is it normal? And my answer is always yes, because various different trauma reactions come from various different things. Pretty much all trauma reactions are normal when we're talking about trauma, just because of how intense it is, right? So we know trauma forms in the brain, and we know it's formed because of something that we cannot deal with, right? Something our brains cannot deal with at the time, and it has caused this kind of shutdown or malfunction, if you want to think about it, in the brain and its processing. And so our brains decide we'll have to come back to it later, deal with it later. We'll just get a little melon here, and this is a very interesting bamboo forest we found ourselves in. Man, what interesting terrain in this world. Anyway, so trauma forms in our brains as kind of this repressed activity, this repressed thing. And then it tries to come out. It tries to heal itself over time, which is where we get these trauma reactions, which is where we start to potentially have issues. Oh my gosh, look at this, another ruined portal. 2 ruined portals in this video. Interesting. We are adventuring around a lot. I'm not going to get those gold blocks yet again. But what's in here? Golden axe, another golden sword, golden pick, some golden leggings. Man, we are full up. Do I want the gold nuggets? Yeah. I'll take them over the seeds, and I'm going to steal this chest too. Hey. Actually, can I get the gold blocks with the gold pick? I do not know. Let's figure that out. Ooh, I can. Okay. Or wait, no, I cannot. It's okay. Wasn't gonna get them anyway. We'll keep that. Okay. Man, there's really not a ton of stuff around here, is there? I need a boat. Let's get ourselves a boat. With these sweet berries over here. Get ourselves a boat. We're going to do a little boating around. There's too much good terrain. I don't really, I can't pick anything to settle on. I don't want to settle. Okay. Back into our discussion of trauma. So, trauma, like we said, forms in the brain and tries to repair itself over time. However, these episodes of trying to repair itself typically are not done at a time when things are actually safe, right? And what do I mean by actually safe? I mean that our brains are in a space and our bodies are in a space to deal with the trauma. And so what we end up with is a re-traumatization, right? So we are re-traumatizing every single time that this happens. And it happens a lot, right? We're talking about from anywhere from once a day to multiple times a day to, multiple times, maybe even in an hour, depending on how things are going for you. And this increases the likelihood that the trauma is going to last and be more severe, right? If you're re-traumatizing every single time, it's just going to keep building on itself, and it's just going to continue to grow. Which is why trauma is so difficult to deal with, right? And again, we're going to have those people out there who say, no, you don't have PTSD. You didn't get traumatized. That's not trauma. And again, I'm going to say they don't get to decide what trauma is because trauma looks different for everyone. Different people have different tolerance levels for trauma, right? And what trauma is to them. And that's okay. Again, I feel like I've said that in every video. It is okay to not fit into someone else's definition for your own mental health. I really am tired of saying that. But I'm going to continue to say it because I think it's necessary. I will continue to say it until it's not necessary. You do not owe anyone anything when it comes to your mental health. And that's just how it is. Alright, we found a savanna biome here. So we might get lucky and get a savanna village. Not my favorite type of village, just because I find them so commonly when I play. But that is okay. Oh, look at that. Savannah Village, of course. Who would have thought? Alright, we are not going to settle in the savannah. We are going to go to this village and we're going to see what it's about. And then we are going to go probably back over that way. We'll maybe take a look and see if there's anything beyond the savannah over here. But I don't really want to stay in this village. Oh my gosh, it is. Oof, man, the villages look nice these days. Okay. Alright, we're going to have to do some looting here because I want what they got. And I'm going to take as many emeralds as I can. I should probably grab these hay bales, but I'll hold off on that for now. Don't want to destroy their farms, though. Is it getting to be sleepy time? Oh, yeah, it is. Look at that. Look at that. What a lovely, lovely little view. Let's do this. Let's get ourselves a screenshot. Oh, that's not what I want to do. There we go. We'll get ourselves a lovely... I don't really want you in my screenshot. Okay. We'll come out here and just... Oh, this is nice. Okay, I think we got it. Yep, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna kick this guy out of bed. I'm gonna sleep here. Don't mess with me. So yeah, dealing with trauma. Oh, what's that? Bread. Oh, I don't need that. Don't need the wooden sword either. We've got other stuff. Okay. So we'll go about, oh my gosh, this village has a giant ravine. And I need to get to the other side. Let's see if we can do so. Right here. Oh, we made it. Okay. So as we go about looting, we'll just continue talking. And I'm going to steal these maps. So, trauma reactions, vary person to person, and there's really no telling how trauma is going to impact you, what it's going to look like, any of that. So you just kind of have to go with the flow, right? You have to realize that whatever is going on for you is probably something that is a typical trauma reaction. And in recognizing and accepting that, part of what we're doing is accepting that, you know, if it's normal, if it's something that we know happens, we also know that, guess what, we can deal with it. We can manage it. We can, grab it and find a way to get through it. And that then becomes the very important thing, right? The thing that we need to continually tell ourselves is, I can get through this. Oh my gosh, look at this terrain. I mean, it's savanna and kind of ugly, but wow. And just knowing, just allowing ourselves to know that we can get through something oftentimes ends up making it easier to actually get through that thing. Okay, so we are going to head back. Oh no. I just saw the golem fall down into the pit. Ugh. Sad day. He won't be able to protect the village anymore. Yeah, I guess that'll have to be okay. So we're going to head back this way. Find ourselves a nice green spot to build adjacent to the village, by the water. I like being by the water. Okay. So typical trauma reactions vary person to person, but I have seen, numerous different trauma reactions. You know, various different clients dealing with various different things. I'm not gonna go into them here, but nothing surprises me at this point when it comes to trauma reactions. You know, they are what they are, and I know that's not a great answer. In fact, that's a pretty terrible answer when it comes to trauma reactions, but that's just kind of what it is. They're there, they happen, and it's okay. Alright, we got a nice cave over here. Oh man, I'm feeling this area. I really am. I am feeling this area. We can get a nice dock down here. The question is, where do we want to put our house? I kind of like, man, I really actually kind of like this area right here. But I want to be close to this cave, because that's where we're going to go down and explore underground. This is a nice cliff face. Maybe we'll just kind of tuck our house. I'm going to clear this out a little bit. Maybe we should tuck our house back in here a little bit. Do we want to be in the cliff? Do we want to be kind of adjacent to it? I like this view right here. We're going to get a screenshot of this real quick too. So let's hide that. And we'll just, what do we want to do? This way? Right here? Just like that? Okay, just a quick little screenshot while we're here. Okay, so this is going to be our house area. How much wood do we have? Oh, not much. Not much at all. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. We will get some more. I like to build with jungle anyway. So we'll get some of that while we talk, and then we will probably end the episode before we start building a house. Next episode will be our house building episode. We'll just make ourselves a little place. We're not going to get too crazy with it. Yeah, nothing too crazy. We just want something we can, let's climb up like that. There we go. But yeah, never surprised by trauma these days. Ugh. Need something to stand on here. Just because it can be so different and it can be so variable for everyone. And again, it just is what it is. I will never judge someone's trauma. Not just because I'm a counselor, but because, you know, it's their trauma, right? It's their thing that they're going through. And no one is allowed to tell you what is and is not traumatic for you. One shy. So, as we do, or as we have done with all of our episodes, we may not continue to do so as we go on, but maybe we will. We'll see. But as we have done with all of our episodes in the past, let's end with some things that we can do to manage our trauma. And if you've watched the previous episodes, this will probably sound kind of familiar to you. But the first thing that you're going to want to do is get a counselor. Go see someone, right? Get someone on your side who can help you deal with this. And it's okay to do that, right? It's okay. It's not shameful. It's not bad. You're not weak for doing so. More and more people are going to counseling, which is amazing. It's fantastic. And I'm really happy about that. Because the more people that go, the more people that see someone, the less stigma there is around it. And that's important. So that's always my first recommendation. Don't deal with it alone, right? Get someone on your side, someone that can help you navigate these waters. Secondly, coping skills. We're going to go back to this well, and we always will, I think, because this is really the place to start. The place to start is coping skills. Because the nice thing about coping skills is that they can be used in the moment for things that are going on, but they can also be used long term. And again, I'm going to recommend DBT coping skills. If you do not know what DBT is, that's okay. Google it. It can be very helpful. But outside of those two things, the big thing that you're going to need to do is get yourself into a safe spot, right? What is that? What do I mean by safe spot? I mean, you need to be in a place where your body, right, your mind, your fight or flight response is not going crazy. So that's the first kind of the first thing that you need to do. We're going to place down a couple of chests here so that we can get going building and picking stuff up. So get yourself to a spot where you are stable, you're not having those big trauma reactions going on, and you feel safe, right? So this is the first part, and let's be clear, right? What is safe? What does that mean? Because not everywhere is safe all of the time, and that, that's okay too. Just because somewhere was safe, it can become unsafe, and that happens. But get yourself to a place where you feel safe, right? I feel safe in this room at this moment. I feel safe in general in this area at this moment. And what you're going to need to do, and this is why we have to feel safe, right? What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to process that trauma. And this is one of the most difficult things to do, which is why I recommend having a therapist, having a trained professional there with you to go through this, because they're going to be able to see kind of the stopping point, right? What is the stopping point? The stopping point is when you start to become re-traumatized. Because what we have to be able to gauge, right, is when do I need to stop before I become re-traumatized, before that happens, so that my brain does not stop processing, so that my brain does not shut down, and I get nothing out of what I've just done. That is what we're talking about here, right? And that really is hard to gauge on your own. I know clients who've been able to do it right from the get-go, right from the jump. They can deal with their trauma on their own. I know a lot more who can't, and both are acceptable, right? I'm gonna keep saying it. Both are acceptable. Both are normal. It's okay. Anything you're dealing with, it's okay. So yeah, and you have to process through it. You have to give your brain some time to think about it, and to really connect with what happened. And then and this is gonna, if you are currently dealing with trauma, this is gonna sound very foreign. This is gonna sound very wrong. But it is part of the process, because at the end of dealing with that and going through that, you have to accept it, right? You have to accept that it happened, and you have to accept that you will be okay and get through it. And accepting does not mean, I want to be very clear, accepting does not mean that whatever happened is okay, that you are given the green light on it. It's not what that means. What it means is that you have accepted that it happened, and that you can't change the past, and that you are going to move forward, whatever that looks like for you. That is going to be simultaneously the best place that you could be, and it's going to be the most difficult thing you've ever done, just getting there. I'm going to plant these berries. We're going to plant them right here for now. Get ourselves a little berry patch going. Okay, we've got a nice flat area to start, get a little starter house built here. Look at that. Look at that view. Right on the water. We may find better places to go. I like that we have some jungle wood here. We may find better places to go and better things to do. But for now, this is where we're at. I am probably, before we start building, going to get some more cobble and cook it down. But that will be in the next episode. We are out of time here for today. But look at what we got, and we are here and ready to go. And we are going to be building right here our lovely, lovely starter home. And we'll see if it transforms into something, or if we go out and find something else. Village over there, nice bit of water here. But yeah, for everybody out there who is dealing with trauma, who is dealing with depression, anxiety, or any other mental health issue, you're not alone. Seek help anywhere you can, whether that is a local counseling clinic. If you are Medicaid eligible, you can go there. Medicare, they have various different clinics that you can go to and things like that. If you have private insurance, there are many ways for you to find help. If you want something online, BetterHelp, I have heard, BetterHelp.com, I think is the site. Don't quote me on that, but I think that I've heard a lot of good things about that one. Or you can look and see who's around you. Psychology Today is a great resource for that, and finding what might be helpful for you. So reach out, get some help. You are not alone. You don't have to deal with it alone, and you will make it through. You will. There is an end to the pain, even if you can't see it now, and you will get through. But that is all for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one.